Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments we will begin the 2021 commencement ceremony of Florida Atlantic University's Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. As we prepare to welcome our graduates, we would like to emphasize how much we all want to make this important occasion an orderly ceremony and ensure that all graduates receive the recognition they have earned. To that end, we would like you to now please silence all cell phones and electronic devices that could mar the dignity of the ceremony for our graduates. Air horns and other noisemakers may call attention to a particular individual, but at the expense of disturbing the ceremony for all others, denying the graduates and their families the honor of hearing their names called. Please refrain from using such devices. We are also required by Florida law to advise you to take note of the nearest fire exit where you should proceed in the event of an emergency. We ask you to keep your face coverings on at all times while you are on FAU campus. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we ask you to please remain seated while we exit the auditorium by sections. Ushers will be on hand to direct you to your exit. A professional photographer will take 3 photos of each student. One as they are hooded, a second when they are getting their diplomas, and a third individual portrait when they are off stage. The fire marshal requires that we keep all aisles clear, so we must ask you not to leave your seat to take individual pictures. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Today's program has been modified to minimize the close interactions and duration of the event. We ask that all graduates and family hooders refrain from handshakes, fist bumps, elbow bumps, shoe bumps, and hugs during the ceremony. Without further ado, since we will not have the traditional processional today, please rise to honor the 2021 graduating class of Doctors of Medicine of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Provost of Florida Atlantic University, Dr. Brett Danilowitz.
On behalf of the entire faculty of Florida Atlantic University, welcome to the 2021 commencement ceremony of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. At this time, we would like you to please rise as we play the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Philip M. Boisel, Dean of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine.
Thank you, Provost Danilowitz. Good morning and welcome to all who've gathered with us here today and to those watching by live stream. It is great to be with you. As Dean of the Schmidt College of Medicine, it's my pleasure to welcome again the class of 2021, as well as their honored guests, parents, grandparents, other family members, spouses, partners, significant others, friends, and loved ones. Thank you for joining us today. And before addressing our graduating class, I'd like to briefly recognize and acknowledge the many people who've been instrumental to the success of our college and to today's graduates, including our core and affiliate faculty, our dedicated College of Medicine staff, our partner hospitals and leadership teams, our FAU leadership, including President Kelly, Provost Danilowitz, members of the executive leadership team, the FAU Board of Trustees, and FAU College Deans, our advisory board chair, Dr. Michael Dennis, and all members of our advisory board, members of our state and local government, and Dick Schmidt and Barbara Schmidt. Please join me in a warm round of applause for these individuals and the many others who've contributed to our success. And before we go on, I would also like to just briefly recognize the contributions of three really special FAU family members who we lost this past year. Dr. Ira Gelb, Dr. Malcolm Dorman, and Mr. Michael Morton. So please join me in just a brief moment of silence in their memory. And now to the class of 2021, congratulations. Today marks an extraordinary accomplishment for each of you. And you are achieving this feat at an extraordinary moment in our collective history, amidst a new yet fragile dawn in the battle against the COVID pandemic. Today you officially become doctors, and soon you'll be on the front line, directly serving patients in need. You are ready to meet this challenge and the many others that you'll face in your medical careers. Indeed, you've mastered the requisite medical knowledge and clinical skills. Equally important, you are prepared to serve as humanistic physicians. I know this because I've had the privilege to witness your personal and professional growth over the last 4 years. And while you have been challenged like no graduating class before you, it's the admirable way in which you've met this challenge that has defined you. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, the ultimate measure of a man or woman is not where he or she stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but it's where he or she stands at times of challenge and controversy. Last spring, you faced an unprecedented challenge when your third-year clerkships were abruptly shut down due to COVID. And your response? Your response was to collectively shift your energies outward towards meeting the greater needs of our community and our society. Many of you volunteered time to collect PPE and to provide services for frontline workers. Importantly, you also spoke out individually and collectively to address racial health care inequities that were amplified by the pandemic and to condemn social injustice, racism, discrimination, and bias in all of its forms. Know this, your words and actions help to catalyze and accelerate our College of Medicine's ongoing journey towards becoming an equity-advancing organization, one that's committed to promoting equitable access to health care and health science education. As you begin your future careers as physicians, I encourage you to continue to serve as change agents for healthcare equity by working to eliminate racial bias and to proactively address the social determinants of health. We meet today just days after the conviction of Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd, and we reflect and realize there is so much work ahead of us. Now is the time for all physicians to address racism as a public health care crisis. Working together, we can ensure that our nation enters a new dawn for equality and justice, one in which all members of society have the opportunity to live peaceful, safe, and healthy lives. Sir Winston Churchill said, "One should never let a crisis go to waste." In reflecting on this crisis, there are many lessons that will transcend the pandemic and inform your future personal and professional lives. Lessons about teamwork, lessons about individual and collective sacrifice, lessons about loss, and lessons about living, lessons about grieving, and lessons about healing, lessons about hope, and lessons about the critical importance of our connection to one another. Along these lines, I encourage you today to remember the important personal and professional connections who helped you reach this milestone. Thank your parents, your loved ones, your classmates, the faculty and staff at the College of Medicine, and your surrounding community. Foster these relationships and maintain these connections as you move forward. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You are ready to serve and ready to lead. Good luck and Godspeed. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jacob Musinski, President of the 2021 graduating class of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine.
Thank you, Dean Boisel. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is Dr. Jacob Musinski. I know I have a few more minutes until that's actually official, but I'm just trying it on for size. And I've had the privilege of serving as the class of 2021 president for the past 4 years. I remember 4 years ago learning that it was the responsibility of the class president to give the commencement address after I had already won the election and it was too late to turn down the job. And from that day until about yesterday, I wondered how I would be able to fit everything I wanted to say about the class of 2021 into just a short speech. But here we are today, so let's give it a go. I'm not the first class president to say this, nor will I be the last. But the class of 2021 is the best class to have ever graduated from the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. And this time, it's the truth. I even have the evidence to back it up. Our class has excelled in every endeavor we have taken on, has objectively been the faculty's favorite, and has accrued a number of accolades along the way. We have 2 student recipients of United States Public Health Service National Awards, 2 Palm Beach County Medical Society Heroes in Medicine, 2 Society of Teachers of Family Medicine Student Scholars. We've published articles in prestigious scientific journals. We scored above the national average on our board exams. We matched 3 students into Harvard-affiliated residency programs, and that's not to mention all of the many others at top programs and into competitive specialties. And we doubled the number of physiatry alumni in just 1 year. And more important, however, is our dedication to our patients and to our community. We committed ourselves to providing optimal care to our patients, and we spoke out when we thought those expectations were not being met. We taught bleeding control to thousands in Palm Beach County. We distributed pins to show allyship for the LGBT community. We led initiatives to expose underprivileged youth to careers in medicine. And right at the start of our fourth year, despite our exams and looming residency applications, we committed ourselves to caring for Palm Beach County at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic and to developing an anti-racism action plan to guarantee the health and safety of all people. As a rule, we strove to leave the College of Medicine an even better place than the one we entered in 2017, and we succeeded with flying colors. But it doesn't end there. Our accomplishments extend beyond the scope of medicine. For example, 5 members, now 7, of the class of 2021 got married over the past 4 years. In addition, 4 couples from our class have gotten engaged. That's roughly 15% of our class who will one day have to explain to their children that mommy and daddy met while learning the ins and outs of the GI tract. And speaking of mommy and daddy, our classmate Joey and his wife Hannah welcomed 2 additional children into their family over the past 4 years. That's more than everyone else in the class combined. I am excited to hear about all of the future Schmidt College of Medicine babies. I hear the name Jacob is back in style. As a class, we also won intramural sports championships, performed as part of the College of Medicine band, the Cytokines, through holiday celebrations to share aspects of our cultures, put together an award-worthy yearbook, and produced 2 of the greatest Schmitties roasters the school has ever known. What's more, and what was maybe my favorite part of medical school, is that we were always a team. And we've really gotten through so much together. First, the preclinical years. Now just a blur of group study sessions, Anki, PBL presentations, hours and hours in the Gelb Auditorium, countless trips to Starbucks and to Chick-fil-A, red markings all over CLG notes, and anxiety before entering standardized patient rooms, knowing full well that you did not do the pre-assigned reading in Bates. Then came the clinical years, with frantic minutes trying to make it to rounds prepared and on time, hours in the OR holding retractors awkwardly while fielding pimping questions, academic half days spent catching up and talking about clinical life, and weeks of shelf exams. 4 years of drinking from a fire hose really flew by, and we all did it together. Between the studying and the long hours at the hospital, we even had time for some fun moments. Dispersed throughout were happy hours at Yard House, beach trips, sunrise bike rides, but only really if you're Hannah, game nights, and Danny's nearly impossible workout classes. We really took advantage of the, 7 things that Boca has to offer. But we also took our talents elsewhere. We have traveled across the entirety of the United States together, to the Philippines, to Colombia, Argentina, and beyond. And while in the moments in which we were the most swamped with work might unite us with a bond, it's the fun moments that have cemented us as a family. And while we always knew we had each other, one thing we also all know for sure is that we could not have gotten to where we are today without the other people in this room and those joining us remotely. To our preclinical course directors and lecturers, and to our IQ and PBL facilitators, thank you for teaching us the fundamentals. To our Foundations of Medicine faculty and our clinical learning group leaders, thank you for ensuring our preparedness for our clerkships and for giving us the gift that keeps on giving. To our third-year clerkship directors and our affiliate faculty, thank you for aiding us in extracting as much knowledge out of each core rotation as possible. We will never forget Dr. Foster's pearls and Dr. Brickman's Brickmanisms. To Dr. Weiner, our fourth-year director, thank you so much for all of the discretionary time. We really needed that break. I'd also like to thank Drs. Caceres and Markowitz in Student Affairs for guiding us through this wild ride, and Drs. Wood and DeCorsia in Academic Affairs for consistently adapting our curriculum to optimize our learning. And the College of Medicine staff, thank you for everything you do. You are truly the unsung heroes of the College of Medicine. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, to our loved ones. Thank you for being there for us over the past 4 years. Your support is the support we needed most. You are the reasons we kept going. For all the moments when you listened to us complain, you provided us with emotional support, played standardized patient, helped us get our laundry done, or provided us with a meal, we thank you. As much as today is a celebration of our accomplishments, it is also a celebration of your love and your support. Please, everyone, join me in giving a round of applause for all of the friends, family members, and loved ones. As I begin to wrap things up, I realize it would be remiss of me not to touch on the fact that we achieved many of these accomplishments, and will be receiving our MDs in the midst of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We applied for residency in one of the darkest years in modern American history, and we will be entering the healthcare workforce at a time when it needs us most. Having experienced just a touch of what dealing with this pandemic has been like in the hospital, I wanted to leave us with some reflections and advice for moving forward. First, enjoy the little moments and don't take anything for granted. We've learned just how precious life is and how quickly things can change. Enjoy every moment of the next few years. The new views on your way to work, the new friendships, catching up with old friends, and take advantage of every learning opportunity thrown in your direction. Next, be in tune with your own wellness. We will have hard moments throughout the rest of our training and into our careers, but knowing yourself and knowing how to tap into the resources to make sure you are well enough to care for your patients is key. Third, treat nurses and the rest of the patient care team with kindness and respect, because we are nothing without our teammates. And finally, as cliche as it may be, treat the patient and not the disease. It is easy for us to fall into patterns in the midst of busy admit days and long shifts, but never forget that each person and situation is innately unique and deserves to be treated as such. Well, class of 2021, it has truly been a great 4 years. I am so thankful for each moment we have had together, and I know that we will be family for the rest of our lives. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your president. It has mostly been a pleasure, but it is definitely something I will treasure forever. I have the utmost confidence that each and every one of you will uphold the clinical excellence associated with the FAU Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine, and I'm so excited to hear about all of the additional accomplishments that are yet to come. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you, very soon to be Dr. Musinski. May I now call up Dr. Stuart Markowitz, Jennifer Caceres, and Sarah Wood to present awards to members of the 2021 graduating class.
Thank you, Dean Boiselle. It is now time to recognize the award recipients of the class of 2021. We're going to announce each award recipient, but please hold your applause to the end. We're going to call them up on stage one at a time, and then we will go from there. Award recipients, stand up and go to the side of the stage as you've already done.
The first award of the morning is the Greenwald Award for Academic Excellence, established by Dr. Richard and Mrs. Shelley Greenwald. This award is presented to the member of the graduating class with the highest overall academic standing. This year, the Greenwald Award for Academic Excellence goes to Philip Qualling. It is now my pleasure to present the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists District 12 Florida Medical Student Achievement Award. This award recognizes medical students for their outstanding achievement in the study and service of obstetrics and gynecology. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists District 12 Florida Medical Student Achievement Award is presented to Marel Daoud.
It is my great pleasure to present the Caroline McConnell McGill Award. This award is presented to the woman graduate who best exemplifies the characteristics of Dr. McGill, a teacher, clinician, scholar, philanthropist, valued friend and mentor to many people, and risk taker who was passionate about her interests and beliefs and maintained an excitement and curiosity about her work throughout her life. This year, the Carolyn McConnell McGill MD Award goes to Danielle Steinberg. It is also my great pleasure to present the Luther W. Holloway Award. This award is named in honor of the first president of the Florida chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. It is given annually to honor a graduating medical student who is pursuing a career in pediatrics and has been actively involved in pediatric advocacy work while in medical school. This year, the Luther W. Holloway Award goes to Caroline Knoop.
The next award is the TICO Prize, and it was established by the Ernst and Gertrude Tico Charitable Foundation to honor the life and work of Ernst Tico, PhD, and Gertrude Tico, MD. It is presented to a graduating student who demonstrated excellence in psychiatry, in academic work and clinical clerkships, as well as empathy, respect for the suffering of mentally ill patients, and compassion in work with all patients while in medical school. This year, the TICO Prize goes to Vihasa Govada. Finally, it is my pleasure to recognize the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award recipient. This award is presented by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. It was presented to a graduating medical student who best exemplifies integrity, excellence, compassion, altruism, respect, empathy, and service. The purpose of the award is to recognize the value of humanism in the delivery of care to patients and their families. The Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award was presented to Patricia Lewis at the Gold Humanism Honor Society induction and award ceremony a few weeks ago. At this time, I'd like to call all of our award recipients to come up on stage. Please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you, Drs. Markowitz, Caceres, and Wood, and congratulations again to our award recipients. The next part of our graduation is quite special. Two of our graduates, Rachel Silverberg and Jade Forster, will be entering the military as officers in the Army and Navy. The officer's oath will be administered by Dr. Larry Brickman, Associate Professor of Surgery and Director of Clinical Education in Surgery, as well as a retired major in the U.S. Army Reserve. It's my pleasure to call up Rachel Silverberg and Jade Forster.
I'm honored to have served our country in the military. I'm also honored to be able to give the oath, the officer's oath, to these two students who I've known since they entered medical school. They go on to their respective residencies, and I couldn't be more proud. Rachel. I state your full name.
I, Rachel Ann Silverberg,
Having been appointed a captain in the United States Army,
having been appointed a captain in the United States Army,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
and that I will
well and faithfully discharge
well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, please state your full name.
I, Jade Barlow Vorster,
Having been appointed a lieutenant in the United States Navy,
having been appointed a lieutenant in the United States Navy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I now present to you United States Navy Lieutenant Jade Vorster and United States Army Captain Rachel Silverberg. Present arms. Weather arms. Please join me in wishing them good luck and at the same time showing our gratitude for the service they're about to give our country. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Brickman, and congratulations again to Rachel and Jade. We thank you for your service. I'd like to ask all current and retired military members and any audience members who have loved ones serving in the military to please stand and be recognized for your service. And it's now my pleasure and privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Sarah K. Wood. Dr. Wood has been a vital member of the Schmidt College of Medicine since its inception. In her capacity as Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, she's been instrumental in developing and leading our nationally recognized innovative medical education program. A graduate of Yale University and Harvard Medical School, she completed her residency in pediatrics at Boston Children's Hospital, where she also served as chief resident. Her stellar teaching and leadership skills have been recognized by the Palm Beach County Medical Society's Outstanding Female Physician of the Year Award and by the Schmidt College of Medicine's Michael L. Friedland Educational Leadership Award. Her collaborative and compassionate leadership style is a perfect match for her forthcoming role as interim dean of the Schmidt College of Medicine, in which I know both she and the college will experience continued success. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Sarah K. Wood.
Well, it is a true honor to be here to speak with you today, the amazing and extraordinary class of 2021. Go, guys. This day is made even more special by the fact that we're able to gather here together today, in person, on campus, indoors even. Wow, these are things that we would have taken for granted in any normal year, but they're made incredibly meaningful today. So after a year apart, I feel the power, joy, and hope of simply being together as a community and as an FAU family. I am so grateful that all 55 of you are here today, and that is really enough to make my heart burst with happiness and excitement. And a warm welcome to your loved ones, our faculty, our amazing staff, university leadership, and all of those celebrating with us from home. So today is a big day, a huge day, really a momentous day. This is the day you have dreamed of and worked for. It is a day of pride, and it's a day of reflection on all you've accomplished and a day of gratitude to thank all of those who have supported you along the way. Today, you all become MDs. 4 years ago, you started this journey as strangers, and were probably nervous about what was in store. Hasn't time flown? Doesn't it seem like yesterday you were all doing team building, energizers, and icebreakers in red t-shirts in the Live Oak Pavilion? I remember the August that you joined us, 2017. There was Hurricane Harvey and the rare total solar eclipse, but nothing could be more unprecedented than training and graduating from medical school during a pandemic. You will certainly always be memorable, historic, and unique from that perspective, class of 2021. So when Dr. Markowitz and Dr. Caceres asked me to be your commencement speaker, my initial thought was, oh no, what more do I have to say? What new can I share and add? Because I know you've all heard so much from me over the years. I welcomed you to medical school. I oriented you, I transitioned you, I debriefed you, I led town halls, I taught pediatrics. So what additional wisdom or valuable advice could I possibly share to inspire you on this important day? I began by reflecting on what is at the very center of this ceremony and the essence of this moment for each of you today. You are becoming doctors. Let me say it again. You are becoming a doctor today. So what does that mean? It is the culmination and competence in all the knowledge, skills, and behaviors that you have worked to master over the last 45 months. It is communication, commitment, compassion, caring, collaboration, and critical thinking. But you want to hear something interesting? The word doctor actually derives from the Latin word docere, meaning to teach. Well, as a teacher, educator, and doctor, that really connected with me. In medicine, we always say, see one, do one, teach one. And there is no surprise to me that teaching is at the top of that list. As to teach, one must be knowledgeable and skilled enough to help and train others. As doctors, we are responsible for teaching, informing, and collaborating with our patients. We also must teach each other and work together as a healthcare team to continually ask questions, expand our knowledge, and ultimately we have to teach ourselves, now and every day. As you have heard our faculty say repeatedly and emphatically, lifelong learning is at the very core of being a successful physician. And we have seen that this year more than ever. Doctors and scientists always have to be poised and ready to face new challenges, make new discoveries, respond to new and evolving information, as we have seen so heroically across the globe this year. I have watched with such pride as your class has emerged as leaders and teachers in our school and in our community. You taught and led as you helped establish Health First, Stop the Bleed, Bridge to Medicine, the anti-racism call to action, and many, many other impactful initiatives. And you did so with passion and with heart. Whether it was supporting frontline healthcare workers in the face of COVID, launching wellness and fitness challenges, participating in community events, or even putting up inspiring Post-it notes for the M2s who were stressed out studying for Step 1. You have embraced the spirit of what it is to be advocates and role models. You have inspired me, and I know countless others through your hard work, humanism, activism, and teaching. DeCherry. And despite all that, you have successfully matched into 14 different specialties at incredible institutions around the country, and 12 in Florida. Okay, so there was a lot of internal medicine and emergency medicine this year, but there was med-peds, orthopedic surgery, general surgery, radiology, OBGYN, urology, and pediatrics, thankfully. I'm thrilled for each of you and pleased that so many of you will be close by. We also have 20 Hooders, family members more than we have ever had before, underscoring that we are truly a family at this College of Medicine. And of course, I have to mention the couples. I cannot believe how many couples there are. And it's similarly, as I think many of you know, I met my husband during my medical school orientation. We studied together, we did summer research together, we went on away rotations together. I even took care of him when he got gastroenteritis on his peds rotation. True love. And this really solidified our career choices. I was going to be a pediatrician, and he most certainly was not. We ultimately built careers and a family together. And I can tell you that whether or not you met your significant other in med school or not, the relationships you have with each other, personally and professionally, those are going to last. Although we talk about work and life being separate and balanced, as doctors you will see that line often blurs. So you have to find work-life synergy, really work-life integration. You will need to find joy in your work, as that will be where you spend most of your time, particularly in the next few years as residents. But you also need to make time to enjoy your family, your friends, your hobbies. And I think you're well on your way to succeeding at that. It is hard to believe, but this past year was my 25th med school reunion. Like most events this year, it was on Zoom, but the connection we all still have is undeniable. I would encourage you to not lose touch with each other and with the faculty and staff at the College of Medicine. Maintain and cultivate these relationships you have made here, and they will be very helpful in sustaining you throughout your careers. You should continue to teach and learn from each other as doctors and as people. DeCherry. Some other advice I have for you. The days may seem long, but the years are short. Time will fly by, so pursue what you are passionate about. Figure out what brings you joy and how you can best serve others with your unique skills and talents. Find what inspires and fulfills you. Try to do what you love. If you had told me at my graduation that I would be the dean of a medical school in Florida, I would never have believed you. You never know where the path of life will lead you. I followed my passion of educating and training exceptional future doctors, and with a little luck, I ended up here in front of you today. I took advantage of opportunities, and I didn't let fear stand in my way. At every twist and turn of my career, there was one constant. I pushed myself to the edge of my comfort zone, as that is where I knew I would learn and grow the most. Remind yourself that you are capable and ready, and move forward with confidence to make the most of the opportunities that will be presented to you. Live, learn, teach. DeCherry. The road does sometimes get tough. There are challenges and times when you will feel overwhelmed and demoralized. Try to focus on the positive. Celebrate small victories, accept imperfection, and find things you are grateful for. Every day, I would leave the hospital after a tough night on call, or in recent years, after a long, stressful day at work. And as I walked out to my car to drive home, I would very intentionally take a moment to think of something that day I was grateful for. And if that led to a quick call or text to a colleague, friend, patient, or loved one, all the better. You will need to find ways to renew yourself, and for me, that has always come from my relationships and connecting with others who are in my corner, supporting me and loving me unconditionally. It is critical that you take care of yourself so you can take care of others. The world needs you. Although it will be a work in progress through different stages of your life and career, learn and teach best practices in self-care. DeCherry. So to conclude, between the 55 of you graduating today, you will touch and save countless lives. You will deliver babies, you will perform surgeries, you will make diagnoses, and provide reassurance, guidance, and care. You will be invited into the most intimate and vulnerable moments with your patients. You will feel the weight and responsibility of the trust they place in you. You will be invigorated by your successes, and you will be heartbroken by your losses. You will care, you will help, you will learn, you will inspire, and you will teach. So in summary, as we talked about today, always the take-home points, right? Move forward with passion and a desire and commitment to serve. Don't be afraid to take a risk and go outside your comfort zone. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Today, as you become doctors, it is with the greatest honor that the doctor and teacher in me recognizes and honors the doctor and teacher in each one of you. You are our future. Congratulations. Make me proud. Go.
Thank you for your very inspiring words, Dr. Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the part of the program during which degrees are conferred. Dr. Brett Danilovitz, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will begin the ceremony for the presentation of degrees.
Thank you, Dean Boiselle. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer, I offer my sincere congratulations to each of you graduating today. When you leave this hall, you will do so as alumni of Florida Atlantic University. We are proud of your achievements here, and you should be too. We wish you every success in life, and we know, armed with your degree from FAU's Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine, you will be successful. Again, congratulations. We will now begin the ceremony for presentation of Doctor of Medicine degrees. I recognize College of Medicine Dean Philip M. Boiselle. I would also like to recognize Dr. Sarah Wood, who will read the graduates' names, and Dr. Jennifer Caceres and Dr. Stuart Markowitz, who will assist with the hooding of graduates. Will Drs. Wood, Caceres, and Markowitz please stand? And now, will the candidates for the Doctor of Medicine degree in the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine please stand? These candidates, having completed all requirements for the Doctor of Medicine degree, are recommended for that degree by the Dean and the faculty of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the doctoral degree in medicine with all the honors, rights, privileges thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, graduates. Will the graduates please be seated so we may continue with the ceremony? I request that our guests please remain seated throughout the awarding of degrees so that the last graduate to cross the stage may receive the same recognition as the first. We also ask that all graduates and family member hooders to refrain from handshakes, fist bumps, elbow bumps, shoe bumps, and hugs during the ceremony. Thank you.
Could all the graduates come to the side so we can begin the ceremony? Dr. Kevin Abadi. Dr. Christine Adams. Dr. Rhiannon Anderson. Dr. Zachary Belnavis. Dr. Laura Binkowski. Dr. Lynn Chi. Dr. Kyle Chin Shu. Dr. Nicholas Calvo. Dr. Jordan Cohen. Dr. Jeremy Cohen. Dr. Philip Qualling. He will be hooded by his mother, Dr. Rawia Yassin, and his father, Dr. Hernani Qualling. Dr. Angelina Abdella Dekak. She will be hooded by her husband and one of our alumni, Dr. Andrew Dekak. Dr. Lauren Daly. She will be hooded by her father, Dr. Joseph Daly III. Dr. Murel Daoud. She will be hooded by her father, Dr. Amir Daoud. Dr. Max Eggers. Dr. Joseph Farshian. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Jack Farshian. Dr. Keshav Goda. Dr. Jared Goldstein. Dr. Vihasa Govada. Dr. Jordan Grauer. He will be hooded by his grandfather, Dr. Samuel Messing. Dr. Ashley Gurek. Dr. Ashley Innes. Dr. Giovanna Jayan. She will be hooded by her mother, Dr. Livia Jayan. Dr. Jude Jaraki. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Abdul Rahman Jaraki. Dr. Caroline Canoop. Dr. Marjorie Craigle. Dr. Jolie Crooks. Dr. Ari Lavin. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Norman Lavin. Dr. Corina Lopez. Dr. Patricia Lewis. Dr. John Mallow. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Gary W. Mallow. Dr. Samuel Mansour. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Adel Mansour. Dr. Kushik Matrapragada. Dr. Vivek Medipalli. Dr. Gabriela Ocampo Medipalli. Dr. Hana Mielke Madej. She will be hooded by her father, Dr. Michael Madej. Dr. Connor Meck Montgomery. Dr. Vishnu Mupala. He will be hooded by his mother, Dr. Matu Raju, and his father, Dr. Murali Mupala. Dr. Jacob Musinski. Dr. Joseph Owens. Dr. Bailey Pierce. Dr. Joseph Pisa. Dr. Shane Polly Kirsch. She will be hooded by her brother and our alumni, Dr. Cortland Polly, and her father, Dr. Gordon Polly. Dr. Yana Saleh. She will be hooded by her mother, Dr. Inessa Saleh. Dr. Jennifer Salick. She will be hooded by her father, Dr. K. Jeffrey Salick. Dr. Rachel Silverberg. Dr. Alexander Small. Dr. Matthew Stankard. He will be hooded by his father, Dr. Charles Stankard. Dr. Danielle Steinberg. Dr. Menno Translow. Dr. Oscar Adrian Vasquez. Dr. Jade Vorster. Dr. Michelle Wilson. Dr. Whitney Winslow. Dr. Florence Shung. Congratulations to the class of 2021.
I now address you for the first time as graduates of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine at Florida Atlantic University. Congratulations, graduates.
Congratulations, doctors. Now Dr. Stuart Markowitz and Dr. Jennifer Caceres will lead the students in lead the doctors in reciting the Hippocratic Oath, which since time immemorial has set forth the highest ethical and professional standards for practicing physicians. You'll find the oath on the last page of your programs, and I will also ask for all physician faculty members and any other physicians in the audience to please rise and join us as we say the oath.
I do solemnly vow to that which I value and hold most dear, that I will honor the profession of medicine, be just and generous to its members, and help sustain them in their service to humanity. That just as I have learned from those who preceded me, so I will instruct those who will follow me in the science and the art of medicine.
that I will recognize the limits of my knowledge and pursue lifelong learning to better care for the sick and to prevent illness, that I will seek the counsel of others when they are more expert so as to fulfill my obligation to those who are entrusted to my care, that I will not withdraw from my patients in their time of need, that I will lead my life and practice my art with integrity and honor, using my power wisely, that whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of my patients that is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep in confidence, that into whatever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick, that I will maintain this trust, holding myself far aloof from wrong, from corrupting, from tempting of others to vice, that above all I will serve the highest interest of my patients through the practice of my science and my art, that I will be an advocate for patients in need and strive for justice in the care of the sick. I now turn to my calling, promising to preserve its finest traditions with the reward of a long experience in the life of healing. I make this vow freely and upon my honor.
This completes the conferral of degrees of the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine commencement ceremony at Florida Atlantic University. Once again, we would like to request that all remain in their seats until all of the graduates have recessed from the auditorium. We request that family members meet their graduates outside of the auditorium so that everyone can exit quickly through the building. Please follow the instructions of the K Auditorium staff. Thank you for your cooperation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin exiting the auditorium by sections. Please pay attention to the usher in your section for directions to your exit. Section 2, please exit as directed. Section 3, please exit as directed.